Lucky Stove.
Okay,
Hi guys, I'm Danielle.
so I'm Ren. I'm the Papa.
Hi guys, and welcome.
You stove.
Hey guys, and welcome back to welcome to the Lucky Stove.
Just stop.
Hey guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Otherwise, the government will listen to your every move and watch your every sentence.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the Lucky Stove. I'm Danielle, and today we are going to make almost bran muffins. Yes, almost bran muffins. Now let me tell you something about bran muffins. You're probably thinking, bran muffins, that's for old people or for people who need to go poop. Maybe it is, but I'm an old soul and I love bran muffins. I miss bran muffins actually because bran obviously is a grain, so that doesn't work for this this way of eating. So the only way to get around it is to have an option that gives you the flavor, the punch, and maybe the tummy rumbles of bran muffin without the spike insulin would go shooting all throughout your veins and making you all dizzy and all the other stuff that you don't want. Whew. Okay, so almost bran muffins. I'm really excited, guys, because I love bran muffins. I said it, I'm saying it again. And actually what we're going to use today is something very simple, maybe simple in color. Linseed, or as my English speaking people may know it as, linseed or flax seeds. And so this is what we're using, and I want to show you. I've pre-ground. I grind mine myself. Pay no attention to my broken coffee grinder. It still works, and that's the point. I grind mine myself. If you can't find it the way you want it, grind it yourself. If you find it and it's not fine enough, grind it yourself. I don't know if a blender will do it, but a coffee grinder certainly will. You can always give it a shot. What do you have to lose? So let's just get started. I'll introduce the ingredients as we go, okay? Or actually, let's take a look at the table, and then we'll just go from there. The second main ingredient that we have is precision engineered whey protein. Now, this is in Dutch, but it's whey protein, and actually it's a vanilla flavor. Now, this doesn't make a difference. You can add vanilla extract to your muffins if you want, but it's not a necessity. And to be quite honest, when I drink this by itself, I don't get a strong vanilla flavor. Okay, and then we will also have Filk. That is 100 milliliters of Filk, and to your surprise, perhaps, some molasses. Now, also, we're going to be using ground cloves, nutmeg, some cinnamon, some stevia sweet drops, stinky you good, 2 eggs. Now the salt is just here to look pretty. Because the molasses already is salty, we're not going to add salt here. And butter. We need the fat. So we're going to use butter too, unsalted, because like I said, the molasses is salty enough. Believe me, when I realized that I picked up the wrong molasses, I wanted to return it, but I already tasted it, so. Okay, and then some xanthan gum. So let's get started. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with the dry ingredients. Like I said, our rock star is the flax. I have a jar that I always add to. When you grind your flax, make sure you let it cool down a little bit before you seal it up. Otherwise you might wind up with something rancid. Don't forget, flax has fat in it, and so if it's hot fat, then it's going to be a rancid fat. So let it cool down. And the reason we're using flax is because flax, 1, is brown. 2, it has the same properties or qualities as a bran would have, such as, you know, fiber, high fiber, the density, the earthy taste, and so there are certain things like that. But also, it's full of phosphorus, not calcium, but chlorine. You can look it up. It's actually quite nice. So here we go, 196 grams. Okay, or Bing it, or Yahoo it. All right, next, our protein powder. This is a trick that I learned actually from Carolyn from All Day I Dream About Food. in her book that she has that I got gifted. I'm just using a scoop. A scoop comes to about 33 grams, okay? So if you don't have a scoop, or you lost your scoop, or somebody threw away your scoop, it's 33 grams of protein powder. Whey protein powder. I don't know what to tell you about egg protein. I couldn't tell you anything about egg protein. I don't know. So I'd rather you just be safe than sorry. And so now we are going to do the seasonings. And for these, for nutmeg, nootmuskaat, we're going to use a whole teaspoon. I'm putting all the dry ingredients together with the exception of the sweetener, which I forgot to tell you about, but I'll show you in a minute. And only a half teaspoon of ground cloves, because as you may or should know, ground cloves are very strong. Oh man, but they smell so good. They smell delicious. Okay, so these are all of the dry ingredients, and I will show you what to do next. I'm so excited to tell you everything that I forgot to tell you everything. So here we'll also add 50 grams or more, your choosing, of sweetener. I'm using sucrin. If you saw my last video, you saw that I ordered some sucrin, and it's not 1-to-1 with sugar, so keep that in mind, okay? And then I also need to add my last dry ingredient, which I forgot, which is a teaspoon of xanthan gum. Now, I think I can promise that I haven't forgotten any. A smart person would probably use a whisk just to break up all those clumps, but as you can smell, as you can see, it's coming together quite well regardless. You could sift it all together, but because the flaxseed is not fine, super fine, you're still gonna have problems. So I don't see the point of sifting it. Alright, so this is all brought together. Now we're going to work on the wet ingredients. Okay? So let me just clean up some bacon. Okay, where does every good baked good start? With butter. Of course. So, we have the butter here. We're going to use 30 grams of butter, softened, or room temperature, whichever. Don't go for melted. You could. I haven't tried it, but I wouldn't. Just because you need it kind of as a, ooh, almost. You kind of need it to help you whip your sugars. So I would stick away from melted. Let's see here. Whoa, 30 grams! If you guys don't know, that's 2 tablespoons. 30 grams. 1 tablespoon is 15 grams. So now what we're going to do is add our sucrin. Now, butter. Now, for sucrin, what I would like to say is 50 grams. It's not 1-to-1 with sugar, like I said. So you're going to have to make up your own mind however your taste buds go. It's up to you. But I would at least start with 50 grams, whatever. Now, and if you are using a good blend, then keep that also in mind. Now, that if it's 1-to-1, then you may not need so much more than 50 grams is what I'm saying. Sucrin, because it is not as strong as sugar, and it's definitely not as strong as my good, I'm adding the stevia. That's why the stevia is coming into play. Otherwise, it's not necessary. Alright, so now we're going to add the good. But I felt like it was not as sweet as I liked it last night. So I'm just going to add all of this in here. And keep also in mind that depending on the kind of the brand that you get of sweetener, it might give you a minty aftertaste. And dude, that's not cool. I know it's not cool because it's cool. It's a cooling effect on your tongue. And it's not nice. It's like you brush your teeth right after eating something really delicious. Who wants to get rid of the flavor that way? I mean, come on, you want to have it stay on your tongue and enjoy it. Anyway, alright, flavor is the business. Speaking of flavor, we are going to add molasses. Okay, if you guys are going to balk at molasses, you can instead use Sucrin Gold or any of your other brown sugar vervangers, replacers. But just keep in mind that, yeah, you might have to add more, you might have to add less. Don't forget to taste it. This is what I'm doing. you don't have to do it. If you feel convicted about using molasses, which I did at first, I was like, what? Stupid people, that's not keto. Then I wouldn't use it. Don't get sick. Don't emotionally distress yourself. So, we are using this heaping. It looks like heaping, but really like half of it doesn't even come out. Oh, but check it out. Now it's coming out. Half a teaspoon of molasses. And remember, this molasses is not sweet. So you may think, oh my gosh, you're like adding molasses and the sweetener and the stevia. You're a glutton for punishment. Inflammation! But in actuality, I'm not. So this is salty. So I kind of have to offset it. Like I said, I made the mistake by buying a salty one, and so now I just have to deal with the consequences. 20 drops. 1, 2, 3, 19, 20, and a pinch to go an inch. That's not 20. That's not 20 at all. I know. It was roughly 20. But like I said, guys, the last time when I made this last night, I found it to be not as sweet as I wanted it to be. So it's up to you. Your stevia is your liver. Okay? So your stevia is what's going to help moderate your sweetness. Because if you're using one of these type of sweeteners, the granulated sweeteners, especially like sucrine, it's not 1-to-1. Alright guys, so we have all of our sweeteners into our handy dandy bowl. What we're going to do is we are going to cream it. Okay? So let's get physical. That wasn't as cute as I thought it was, so whatever. You guys may be wondering, okay, again, why the molasses? Why not just use Supreme Gold? Because, folks, sometimes you work with what you have, and I couldn't get a hold of Supreme Gold when I wanted to, and sometimes when money is tight, you do what you have to do, and that's just part of life. You gotta do what you have to do, as long as it's not illegal, and if it is illegal, make sure you're not killing anybody. But, well, I'm just saying, you have to, sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and in this case, it was that I had to get the molasses. And actually, molasses goes well with many of the things that I like to make, such as bread. Now we have our handy dandy eggs. As you can see here, the sugar has clumped very well into my whisk, but the eggs are going to help break that up. Okay, so one at a time, whisk them. Don't mind the feather, these are farm fresh. I'm just kidding, I don't know if they're farm fresh, but I know that they are from somewhere. There's one. Whisk it one at a time to get the sweeteners broken up. You see how there's butter clumps? That's cool. What I mean is, it doesn't matter. Okay, so there's one. I tried it with just one egg, and to be honest, it needed the second egg. Now, if you want to try to go eggless, because as some of you may know, you can make flax eggs. What you may want to do, if you want to go eggless, is just add sufficient amount of water. I haven't tried it, so I won't encourage you to do that. But if you are going to, you can make flax eggs. You just add, like, I believe for 1 tablespoon of flax, you have 2 tablespoons of. Oh, you're gonna have to look it up. I don't know. If you do make flax eggs, or if you make this recipe, tag us, The Lucky Stove, at Instagram or on our Facebook page, so we can see how it looks. Now we're gonna add in the dry ingredients. I know you're thinking, what are you gonna do with the filk? Now we use filk. The reason we use filk, fake milk, keto milk, is because I don't like buying extra things if I don't have to. Almond milk, cashew nut milk, all those nut milks, please. I have no allergies to dairy, so I'm not worried about that. I get 100 milliliters of heavy whipping cream. I add 500 milliliters of water. And what do I have? Filk. That's it. That's all you have to do. But you do you. If you want to buy those extra things, go for it. I mean, but I'm already buying heavy whipping cream. I'm buying things that since I started keto, I started buying a lot of things that I'm not used to buying. And I've stopped buying a lot of things that I'm used to buying. So it's not like I'm complaining about the price. I'm just saying I don't want to spend extra. Like, especially around here, I'm confused with almond milk. Because sometimes they'll say almond drink or ongezoet or verzoet, whatever it is, whatever the case is. But anyway, back to mixing. So here we go. We're going to add in half. This is also something that I learned from Carolyn's book. I'm going to give it a good introduction. And you will find that it gets quite stiff because flax absorbs water and liquid very easily. And if you're thinking, oh my gosh, it looks gelatinous, yes. That's why people use it as eggs, because it's a great binder. So like I said, if you don't want to use egg in this recipe, if you don't want to use filk, for example, in this recipe, you can always, I'm pretty sure, substitute it with no egg. And also the coconut milk. You can go for water if you want. But either way, let us know. Tag us. And you can also send us an email to our website, askus@theluckystove.com, because when you make our creations, we have been trying to set up a gallery that has you all featured, but all we have right now is our stuff because nobody is sending in pictures of what they are creating. If you are creating something, that'd be pretty awesome if you showed us. I think it'd be super awesome. Now, you see how this is getting really stiff? That's where the filk comes in. You may not use the whole 100 milliliters, but you want to make sure you have it available, okay? You don't want it so thick like this. You do want it as a batter, but you don't want it so stiff like a bread dough. So 100 milliliters. I'm going to cut this in and I'll be right back. I did mention that flax is you can find these, flax is a superfood. You see how it's getting all, this is the way you want it to look. This is done. But, I mean, it contains iron, it contains potassium, folate, magnesium, choline, as I mentioned, phosphorus, as I mentioned, calcium, niacin. This is great. This is a great superfood. I mean, if you want to go for superfoods, this is what you're looking for. You can find flax at any of your health food stores, and actually now, we're finding it more available even in regular stores just because people are on the trend of eating healthy. So now we're going to scoop it into our wells. The oven has been preheated at 175 degrees Celsius, and so it's ready to go. We're going to use a portion scoop, and then we'll show you what to do next. Okay, so now we have our scoop. This makes, depending on how greedy you want to be, I don't call it greedy. I say, hey, if you're going to have a bran muffin, have a bran muffin. But don't forget, some people don't eat flax, or they eat very little of it because of the estrogen that could be affected, that could affect you. That it's not like it's hardcore. You'd have to eat a buttload, a whole lot of flax for this to affect you. But if you're concerned, look it up and then decide for yourself. In the meantime, just like with bran, you have to let it soak in milk for whatever amount of time, and then you have to break it down. This is not, it's not the case for this. By my portion scoop, I get 10 out of these. If I give a hefty portion scoop, I don't want them too small. I mean, if you're gonna eat a muffin, especially a healthy muffin, and that's all you're gonna have, you want it to be a good size. Okay, so this is the last one. Like I said, I got 10 out of it the other night, and I'm getting 10 out of it now. So here is what we do. We bang it against a flat surface, which I won't suffer your ears with, and then we put it in the oven, 175 degrees. I have a convection oven, so the fan blows, and sometimes it burns my stuff. But in the meantime, you can still follow 175 degrees. It just may be 10 to 15 minutes to which yours is done. Mine only took 10 minutes. You want to look for the firmness on top, okay? Finger firm, not too firm, because you don't want it to dry out. Please, otherwise you got this nasty stuff. And then bran really will taste like. Okay, so I'm gonna bang this, and we're just gonna cut the sound off. Okay, so into the oven it goes, roughly 10 minutes, and then we're gonna be all set. Hey Siri, please set a timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, your timer is set for 10 minutes.
Not sponsored. Yep. Exactly 10 minutes later. Firm. But not so firm that it feels like, oh my goodness, I burnt it. Here we go. Deliciousness. I guess I could turn the oven off. There we go. Hashtag tourism hide. Just kidding. Now we're gonna let these cool. Follow me over to the table. Alright guys, so here we have it. We're gonna let these cool in the pan for about 5 minutes before we try to remove them. As you noticed, I did not use a cupcake liner. I don't need to. This pan, I don't need it. You may need that for your pan. Do it. Do what suits your pan and what suits your life legally. In any case, we are going to go ahead and let these cool. And I'm going to show you what these ones look like. Now these did sit overnight, so they're still delicious. However, the texture always changes after you let them cool completely, okay? So go and get a close-up of this because I want you to see the awesomeness that this is. You guys see that? Now I already ate one this morning. And I'm not a glutton for punishment. I'm not. Do you remember what Bran Muffins do? If you eat a buttload of bran, then you're gonna drop a buttload elsewhere. Just saying. And the same thing applies for flax. If you eat a lot, it's fiber. Just think of it. Fiber makes you go. Okay? So here we have these. I will take a bite of these. I will take a small bite. I want to take a bite of the other ones. And I don't care if it's hot. So I'm going to do it now. Here we go. Here we go, go, go. Ooh, ooh. The adventure. Thingamajigger. Up and away. So I'm going to loosen it with a spoon. You guys are not going to get the full, idea of texture just because I'm pulling it out so soon. There we go. So, it's got to cool. You didn't even catch me. Alright. So here it is. It's not cooled. It's got to do its thing. And here we go. Y'all, this is hot. Let them cool so they can come to their proper texture. But and the extra stevia that I put in there, it made a difference. The other ones, they were just right. Okay, if your sugar addiction has calmed down, or your sweet tooth has calmed down, but for me, it hasn't yet, and I'm okay with that, and I will confess it. These are delicious. Someone has mentioned adding chocolate to it, but if you have any idea about a bran muffin, you know that they're supposed to be healthy, so you don't add chocolate to it. I would, however, add cream cheese on top, or maybe a slightly sweetened cream cheese, or not even. A maple glaze, or maybe some extract, such as that, a brown butter glaze, and that would be nice, sweetened with a little bit of stevia. But these, even though they're hot, I can still taste the sweetness, and I'm really enjoying these. But I can't eat the whole thing, because I don't want to be stuck in the toilet. So until next time, thank you so much for joining us at the Lucky Stove. May your stove bring you luck or a coupon. Now, look, I'm a DIYer. I like the look. If you want the coupon, I have to think about that. Maybe you need a coupon for Sucre and Gold or something. Because if you try to order it here, in the Netherlands, you're going to be paying a pretty price, but you can find you can still find it. Jump on afvallenmetbrechtje.nl. I mean, this is a plug because I just love her. You can find the stuff there. When I'm in a hurry, I make do with what I have, and I'm pretty sure that's a lot of you. If you're watching me, you don't sit there and prep for weeks to get an ingredient. You just go, and that's life. You just go. Okay, so thank you all, and thank you all so very much for the new subscribers who have joined our team. The comments that have been being left, we appreciate all of the interaction. And let us know if you love anything or you hate anything. The thumbs up works just as well as the thumbs down. Okay? So I'm very cool about that. Views are great, but we love to know how we can help you. Coming from a diabetic standpoint, I try to find ways to help the diabetics in the community, internet community. However, I love good food, period. So I am not stuck in a diabetic mindset. We want to get this and we want to enjoy food. We want to lose weight. We want to eat healthier. Whatever the case is, we want to manage our hormones. Let's do it together. Keto, low carb, keto. Whatever it is, make that your way so that way you can enjoy your life. Again, thank you so very much. Check out our playlists. Our producer, editor, everything has been making a lot of things, trying to make it available so it's easier for you to access them. So please do that. Check it out. And we will see you next time. If you have any questions, email us, askus at theluckystove.com. Okay? Check out the website. See you next time. Bye.
Okay, guys, don't forget to comment down below. Guys?
Okay, so we got this sweetener.